Your current tenant is trying to sell a failed business.
It is a failed business.
Alan, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking. My name is Danny D'Angelo. My partner and I have been doing laundromats for about 15 years. We are looking to build out some more stores. So, believe it or not, we have physically scout existing laundromats. Typically, we walk into them and we look for rundown, decrepit stores, etc.
I got one.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
You talking to me? Yeah. Oh, shut up.
We do our due diligence process. We look into the existing location and the demographics, and then we typically reach out to the landlord. You're no different than many of the deals we have done. Save one thing, Alan. You've got the store for sale through a Facebook ad, which is, I've seen that before. But I want you to.
It's everywhere. It's on Biz Buy, selling all the business sites.
Sure.
But I just blasted it. Sorry about the noise in the back.
Not at all.
Got a pig
Alan?
that's squealing. Hold on. Let me get him away. 1 second. Boss, can you take the pig, please? Got green acres going on over here. Put him on me. Sorry about that.
Not at all. Alan, I intend to give you not $20,000, but I intend to give you $360,000. That's my offer. I'm going to give you $360,000 over the next 15 years in the form of rent. I assume that makes sense. I'm not looking.
There's only one small issue: is I am not the owner of the laundromat.
Okay.
I'm the owner of the plaza. I'm the owner of the plaza.
Great. Your tenant is making an attempt to sell for $20,000, not you?
Correct. That's
Love
correct.
It. Perfect. Why is it that your number – now, we're going to understand each other perfectly here in 5 minutes, but
okay.
If you've noticed, I don't ask questions about the laundromat because I know how this works. I'd like to tell you how it works for me if you don't mind.
No, listen, I love it. Go ahead.
I'm looking for infrastructure. Okay, it's there. The gas, water, electric. The business is trashed. The equipment is junk. I'm not looking for the existing goodwill because there is none. $20,000 is a joke. But I won't spend it. I'd rather buy a Rolex. I can tell time when I want. Okay. The infrastructure is what I'm after. It could work for me. We'll talk about rent. I'll sign a long-term lease. The only questions I have: why have you become the broker for your tenant rather than just signing a lease moving forward?
Well, I already have signed a lease moving forward. I have a lease with the tenant.
Okay.
And the only reason that I'm
with the existing tenant or the new possible owner that's going to give cash for the business?
Both. Well, I have a lease pending with the new buyer. Obviously, it's pending the sale going through.
Okay.
But the existing tenant has a lease in place and bought the business. I sold the business to him. I owned it for about a week because when I bought the building, the business, I had 5 business brokers come evaluate it because I didn't want the damn business. But I told him I would pay. I do real estate. I'm a real estate guy. But I told the seller, because that was part of the deal, is I had to buy the business with the building if I wanted the building. Otherwise, go away. And what we agreed is I would pick 5 people of my choosing to come up with the opinion of value, and then I would pay the average price. So 5 people came up between 45 and 55 grand, the way that it was run by the previous owner. I paid 50. They wanted, the low end was 45, and the brokers each wanted 15 grand to sell it, which is how I came to the $30,000 number that I sold it to the current owner for.
Alan,
he just did nothing with it.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Okay. You want a good long-term tenant in place in this space, am I right?
Well, let me answer that question. With the laundromat, do I really care whether it's a laundromat or it's something else?
No,
frankly, the laundromat, I'm at $12 a square foot. The other units in the building, I'm over $20 a square foot.
Perfect.
So when I have people that tell me they're going to do everything with the laundromat and lock them in and hey, reduce the rent, Well, why you don't want to pay anything for the laundromat? You're going to reduce the rent. Why don't I just kick the laundromat guy? Wait for him. If we don't sell it, he leaves. I'll go in there, get the place out, put in the storefront glass and windows and doors, make it nice, rent it out, get $20 a foot.
Right. Perfect. So if someone buys the existing laundromat for $20K, you've got a seller in place. That seller's in the due diligence process. If they spend $20,000, it makes them what? An idiot. So I'm not that guy. Like you say,
that's an opinion. I mean, they probably won't. They won't make as much money. You probably know more about it.
Are they planning on retooling?
What they've said is they've talked about fixing some of the machines and slowly replacing everything.
So you ran the place for a week. That's not going to work. Alan, let's cut to the chase. There's no speculation, my friend. I want to become a long-term tenant, even at $1 a square foot, $2,000 a month. That's $360K. I retool my stores every 7 years. I'm going to send you an email. In that email, I'll sort of it's not an LOI. I'm not going to send you a letter of intent. I have no intention of purchasing the space. I don't do that. I haven't done it in several years. It's not a personal point of pride. It's just the fact that I don't see value there. So if you'd like a long-term tenant that is a good laundromat operator, it's us. And
that's fine, but you're talking about keeping rent the same for 20 years when
no, of course not. You're going to have rental increases. We're going to go back and forth, and we're going to talk about that. Of course.
Okay, but how do we get the current owner out of the equation?
The current owner, the current operator, how long do they have remaining on their lease?
9 years.
9 years remains on the lease.
Now, I control how long the lease is, but what I'm saying is
let me
right now he owns the business.
You asked a great question. If he's in arrears on his rent, falls apart, doesn't.
He's not.
Okay. If in the future, tomorrow, next week, next year, 6 months from now, if you allow this sale to go through, and you've got someone who doesn't need $20,000, it's a joke. The guy can't come up. I've got stores that do $30,000 net a month in cash. Okay? So you've got a potential buyer. This is not speculation. Your words. If you got someone willing to give you $20,000 and they're going to try to make it go, they're going to fall apart. This guy's going to fall apart. Alan, wait. I'm not selling newspapers. I'm not asking you to do or say anything now, but you've got my number. If and when it's time, your current tenant is trying to sell a failed business. Okay? I hear you agreeing with me by not saying a word. Your current tenant is trying to sell a failed business.
It is a failed business, but I don't necessarily agree that it's got to be ripped down. I also don't agree that it's worth nothing because it has the infrastructure.
Well, I'm not $50,000 on it. God bless. But you wanted the building, and now you want a good tenant. Now you want a good long-term tenant. Alan, you've got three options. Do nothing. Allow the sale to go through with someone who's going to do nothing. Or sign a long-term lease with someone who's a good, strong operator and collect, subservient rent. That's us. That's all.
But let me ask you a question. If I walk, he owes me out of that $20,000 because I held a note on it and the real estate commission to sell the business. Right now, I'm owed $16,000 right now.
Okay,
that's what I'm owed. After he pays the attorney, he walks with $3,000. So there's I have more skin in the game.
$360,000 in rent. That's what I'm offering. No more, no less. Alan,
for how long?
15 years at $1 a square foot.
Yeah, but I'm not. Why
would you? You bought a business that you had no business in buying just in order to obtain the building because you wanted long-term tenants. Now we're going.
Yeah, but if I rip the laundromat, I'm getting $20 a foot over there.
Do that.
Why would I agree to $12 a foot?
When that happens, we won't have business to do. But if it doesn't, we will. There's a lot of ifs and whats and who's and buts in all of this, and I'll make a dozen more calls in Florida today and probably end up with another store. But I'm still on your side. I'd like to become a long-term tenant and the best plausible laundromat operator. I'll leave you with one more thing. If I'm your operator, my laundromat brings in more consumers, more customers. We change everything. I'll outline that in my email. We become the police of the center. This isn't some horse shit trying to limp along what you have there now. God bless.
No, listen, you got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
knows that.
Man, you did it. So we'll see what happens with him. He got himself in a pickle.
Well, you heard the detail. I don't have to go over all of it. He's paying for businesses. He's buying businesses. He's trying to become a broker, and he's got no business doing any of it. I'll email him, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Thanks, sweetie.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.